Even if you've never heard of the term Dadaism before, I'm going to prove to you today that it still has its fingerprints all over our current culture and society. I've talked a couple of times about Hannah Hawk this week, and really her techniques in photo montage and how she rearranged images to create absurd political statements really went on to develop what we think about surrealism now. If you think about things like Dali's paintings and Dali's photographs, it's really heavily influenced by her work about the scale differences between the objects and creating a narrative within the art piece itself, but having that viewer question if it's reality or not. And that's kind of the crux of surrealism. It's not just adding that absurd nature, but creating almost a fantasy world or an alternative universe that we could imagine ourselves being in. I would argue that some of Duchamp's questioning of if this art anymore eventually appealed to graffiti artists, whether they knew that they were influenced or not. Tagging your name on a building or a train may not on its face look like some artistic endeavor, but it's another way to communicate. And if Dadaism told us anything, it's like, what is the power of communication? What happens to communication when we strip language away? And how does showing typical objects like a train change when it has somebody's name on it? And then Hugo Ball, he was trying to break the rules of society by using language in a way that people literally didn't understand. He was breaking the medium altogether, making his voice muffled, shrouding his body and his face, restricting his movement. He was trying to do everything that a normal speech by a politician would do and flip it on its head. Thereby, he is, by all standards, the direct ancestor of what we would consider the punk movement today. Any art that's built on refusal has some sort of inspiration from Hugo Ball, whether they've seen him or not. Next time someone tells you that a movement made of nonsense couldn't go anywhere, you're going to know better. You've just spent a week with me learning about Dadaism and its reflection on history, philosophy, and its impact to art and culture. Dada's fingerprints are all over our current world and culture, and subtly, this idea of nonsense makes a lot of sense.